What's up, gamers? Welcome to Gamer Rant. My name's Kevin. In today's episode, let's talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let's also talk about, ironically, this lovely little site. How does it relate? Why would it relate? The irony of it is that, if anything, Assassin's Creed Shadows just continues to prove that gamers will continue to kill gaming.
Why isn't it in the fucking game without a pre-order? You blind? Dude, fucking fanboyism.
Microtransactions and
DRM.
Downloadable content.
For the tip edition, you can pre-order it and you can get thrown to the dogs, which is kind of ironic when you think about it because they're throwing players to the dogs, but that's neither here nor there. Rip out a mission developed during the game and let's make it a pre-order bonus incentive. We can hop on over to the Suck It Harder edition, and with the season pass you can get a day one quest again, and then it will unlock some more season passes. Yeah, I know what that word is, but we're not going to use that word because it's an insult to refer to it in that essence, especially in the context of how Ubi shit is using it. Plus, you also get your 3-day early access. If we jump on over to the Take It in the Ass edition, all of the previous bullshit. And then, of course, you get the Ultimate Pack, which gives you, 5 skill points. So we got some pay to make it easy in there. A dragon filter for photo mode and some cosmetic bullshit. If we hop on over to Take It in Both My Holes edition, you get everything in previously, plus access to 100 PC games for $18. And here is an example of someone who's willing to Take It in Both Holes edition. So I can pay 2 months of Ubisoft and beat it in that time for like $35. Hell yeah, bro. That's a great ass deal. I don't know what you're complaining about. I'm not thinking straight because I'm not going to give them $130 and instead I'm going to give them $18, beat it within a month, cancel my subscription, wait for all the DLC to come out, and then renew my subscription for a total of $36 instead of paying $130. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my brain is working correctly. Tell me how it's working correctly, because everything that you're doing is the antithesis that is going to help make this fail. I said this before when I talked about Stop Killing Gaming, is that I felt it was going to fail because of the attitude that gamers have when it comes to this bullshit. Because it's not about trying to preserve gaming. It's not about looking at Ubisoft and being like, no, we're not buying this game because this is going to become a paperweight, just like Star Wars Outlaws, because it requires you to be online in order to install the game. But tell me again, RPG idiot, how you somehow have 2 fucking cents of a brain, and yet you also don't. Like, I feel like this is a guy that would be in Osman's chat and he would get banned because he would say something that he thinks is pretty mic dropping, but the only thing he's dropping, is just siding with the corporation. People can sit here and tell me, which they have in the comments, that the difference between gamers complaining, like in this facet, in the comments, on an article, what have you, Stop Killing Gaming is all about regulations. Yes, but that regulation is based on adult gamers going and doing what this website wants you to do. And the question then becomes, how many of these gamers are just going to continue to shill for the company? How many of these gamers are just going to continue to do what gamers have always done since the creation of DLC, when we idiotically thought that it was going to be the PC version of an expansion pack for home consoles. And then it turned out to be like, let's rip all the stuff out of the game that we used to hide in the game that you had to play in order just to simply unlock it. Maybe use an old school button press code to unlock it. And we're going to make you pay for it later. You want to sit here, you want to talk about your intelligence. I'm not seeing any intelligence. I just see a corporate shill. An individual that is part of the problem rather than part of the solution. And I say it again. This, along with Star Wars, is ultimately, in my opinion, why this is going to fail. And that's because gamers do. And they do things that on a daily basis goes against the very idea, the basic idea of what this represents, which is game preservation at its core. And yet, how many people have pre-ordered Star Wars? How many people have pre-ordered Assassin's Creed? which completely goes against the very ideology of game preservation, because the game itself requires be connected to the internet, meaning that these discs in the future to come, either when I'm like gray and fucking wrinkly old or dead, are going to become useless. Because here's something that most people don't realize, okay, is that you look at PlayStation and how, or any company that has tried to remove your access to a game and then they backpedaled on it. They're like, oh, okay, our bad. Sorry. We weren't thinking straight. Do you think that's going to be a continuing thing throughout the years? Yes. And there will come a point, there will come a time when they will be able to do it, because all the people that cared are going to be fucking dead. You know, my whole stipulation with this channel was to hopefully educate people, educate gamers. But yet gamers continue to partake in the stupidity that will help this fail. If you buy Assassin's Creed, whether you're a streamer or not, because yes, I've seen streamers say that they'll eat the shit. They'll play this game. They'll play this shitty game so other gamers don't have to. And it's like, well, thank you for being part of the problem. You're not being part of the solution. Nobody has to play this game to let other people know that it's a shit game. It doesn't matter if the gameplay is good or amazing. It goes against this very ideology. But whether we're talking regular gamers, whether we're talking casual gamers, whether we're talking streamers, this will fail because of the people I just previously listed. Because there are people that are willing to purchase this bullshit. You can try and sit here in your high horse and say that it's your job as a streamer. But the reality of it is gaming is shitty. Go look in the mirror. That's why. I find it funny that we live in this world where people are like, hey, speak with your wallet. But then there's people that are like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to waste money on this shitty ass game so you don't have to. There's a reason why Angry Joe's Madden reviews are dog shit. It's not because of him. It's because of his actions. Actions speak louder than words. He continues to buy the game so he can shit on the microtransactions to feed his whales. He's objectively no better than Electronic Art. Angry Joe is just a different kind of whale to Electronic Art. And we want to sit here and wonder why Ubisoft can do this for a second time. And I guarantee you they'll be able to do it for a third time, because this will be successful, which is, of course, why this will fail. You can't sit here and say this is a good idea, which I've seen certain streamers say this. They've talked about that very concept. It's a great idea. And yet those same people are talking about buying this game so their audience doesn't have to. Tell me again. Tell me a fucking again how you're not being part of the goddamn problem. This is the hypocrisy of gamers. For years, we've often said, speak with your wallet. It does not help if one fucking person only does it. It doesn't help if 100,000 people, if 1,000,000 people do it. Everyone has to do it. But at the end of the day, this is an example of why this will fail. And this is why the real problem in gaming, it's the gamers. That's the real problem. You can sit here and you can say that, well, gamers on the internet are the minority. They're the small group. We're such a small group that we've had wins throughout the years. That's how small we are. What kind of fucking logic does that make? Can anyone tell me? We're such a small group that we can never win anything, but yet we've won stuff in the past. But we're still a small group. We're such a small group that we can't reverse anything like this because we're a small group. Even though we were able to get, Xbox to change their ways on used games and microtransactions for that machine. We're such a small group that we weren't able to get Electronic Arts to reverse the active DRM in the SimCity 2013. We're such a small group that BioWare and Electronic Arts decided to release an update for the whole Mass Effect 3 controversy. It wasn't a big update, but they still did it. They still bent the knee. We're such a small fucking group. This is the excuse everyone says. Everyone and their fucking mother. We're just so small. We're like a 1% on the internet. It's like, if we're the 1%, how the fuck have we had these wins throughout the years? How could there be so many dumbass people on the internet who forget all the wins that we've had, but when it comes to bullshit like this, we can't win because we're the minority? And that's because at the end of the day, people like to eat shit. Streamers like to eat shit. And don't fool yourself. They're not doing it to make that sacrifice of them having to pay the money so you don't have to. They're doing it because it's going to make them money. And that's the only thing they care about, which again goes against this. But at the end of the day, I've been doing this since 2012. I'm just speaking to the fucking choir. I've said it once, I'm going to say it again. The problem in gaming isn't the publishers, it's not the developers. It's the spineless gamers that don't have the backbone to take something that they love and be like, I'm not going to support that because I don't need it. But welcome to 2024. And I want you to imagine gamer long after we're dead, because every company that's ever tried to take your rights away in terms of the digital content you purchased, whether it's a movie, whether it's a game, is eventually going to be successful, because the people that care are eventually going to die. And then the only people that's going to be left are people like this.